What up, y'all? As y'all know, man, favorite dude of the week, AP Poe Week 10. The college football season go by so fast, so fast. But let's go ahead and get into it, man. All right, so let's start Group of 5 with Memphis. I definitely think they deserve to be ranked. Now, it's crazy when you look at the stats of that game because it was outgained in pretty much every category, even third down efficiency. That game, USF was 12 for 18, but they made the plays late in the fourth quarter, and USF could not score. They scored 17 points in the fourth quarter alone, and that missed field goal really synced USF. Now, Byron Brown did his thing, man. Had the one interception, but besides that, he had 3 total touchdowns in this game, nearly 300 yards of total offense. But the difference for Memphis is having Brendan Lewis back. He made the difference for them in this game, having him back healthy at home. They was making the throws they needed to make. They was getting good yards on the ground. Did everything they needed to do, man, and they stayed down. Despite losing early in the game, they never let it obviously filter and affect the team. And then obviously you see them come out on top, man. So a big win for Memphis. Deserves to be ranked at number 25. Now, I don't know what in the hell happened yet last night, but Lord, Utah ain't even have their quarterback. And I ain't gonna lie, Bird Ficklin, he cooked them boys for Colorado. I mean, they had 422 yards of offense, 422 yards rushing in that game alone. Just rushing the ball. And they had a 40-0 lead at halftime. I mean, they had no answers. Ficklin had like 150 yards rushing. They cooked them, completely cooked them. And then Colorado just, bad snaps, block punts. It had so many issues just overall as a team. They couldn't defend. The passing attack was getting cooked. Like, that was just an ugly game. And if you Colorado, bro, move on from Caden Salter, lean on Ryan Staub, or go with your young guy, Julian Lewis, at this point in the season, bro. And they got to figure out their quarterback position. That's one of the biggest needs for Colorado moving forward. You cannot have that next year. Now, USC was obviously unranked going into this week. But remember, they had a bye week. They got Nebraska this upcoming week. They are back in at number 23. Again, all of this really helps out Notre Dame in their obviously flight to try to get to a CFP playoff. We'll see if they can handle that. But if you're USC, 2 losses on the year, only 1 loss in conference play, you got to win out. Some real good teams at the top. Ohio State, Indiana, Iowa's having a great year. So we'll see what happens. Houston, big win on the road, obviously, against Arizona State. Arizona State had their struggles in this one. The quarterback wasn't as efficient throwing the ball. You could tell they really missed the absence of Jordan Tyson. And they dominated this game for Houston. Like, they were up 24-0 at one point before they scored 16, unanswered to make it at least, like, a little bit interesting. But nonetheless, man, shout out to Houston. Big-time victory on the road, man. Them boys rode. They had no answer, and they cooked all game long, and I think really hurt the chances for Arizona State to make a CFP. Michigan, probably not the best game. Bryce Underwood only had 86 yards passing, but how about Jordan Marshall and his play in this game, rushed for over 140 yards, and how about Justice Haynes, 152 yards and 2 touchdowns. Cook them boys, man. One thing Michigan going to do, they're going to play some good defense, and they're going to run that football. Still got to figure out the kinks offensively with throwing the ball when you play elite teams, but at least you know you're going to be able to pack a punch with running the ball and having a defense. Now, Texas, like I said, I went back and watched that game. I talked about it earlier on the channel. I was impressed with Arch Manning. Probably one of his best games. Deep balls all down the field. Was setting up his receivers. Ryan Wingo had one of his best games. Texas looked good from that standpoint. Offensive line still got to figure it out. But credit to them, man. Down 17, punched in the mouth. They could have gave up. They did not. They kept fighting, kept battling, and came back and ended up winning the game. Shout out to them for that big-time road victory. Deserved to move up at least 2 spots in the rankings, which is what they did. Now, one I'm surprised still on here is obviously Missouri. Missouri's had multiple losses back-to-back. But, again, they've played some really good teams. But, can they get back on track? Right? Lost to Vanderbilt, close game, 17-10. The AP voters didn't really punish you for it, to be honest. They still got you ranked. So how do you rebound after that close loss to Vanderbilt? Diego Pavia had another pretty much good game, another Heisman-like a game. How do you rebound from that is the biggest question for Missouri. And what is the health of Bo Pribula moving forward? He was out of that game. You had to lean on true freshman Matt Zollers. What's next for Mizzou? Next up, Oklahoma, still on this list. They moved down 5 spots from number 13. Lost, obviously, a close game. Battled in that one. Still don't look like John Mateer's fully back and healthy. In my humble opinion, and struggle. Like I said, the defense was number 1 in the country in total defense, but they still struggled to defend against Ole Miss. QB1 had a game in Trinidad Chambliss, and obviously they struggled there. Oklahoma, still everything out in front of you, only 2 losses in the SEC. That can still get you to the CFP, but you got to start winning and winning now. Cincinnati, I like obviously the Bearcats, another big game for them. Brendan Sorsby continues to shock people. Top Big 12 player. He's in that conversation, I think, for all Big 12. Another big-time game for them, man. I like the Bearcats. They're going to be a sneaky team to watch this season. Now, Louisville struggled against Boston College. Yes, they won the game, but they had their struggles. So I guess it's going to show you the parity of the sport. Boston College is on the bottom feeder of the ACC and still gave them boys work. So if you're Louisville, you got to play better. You know what I'm saying? You still got some big-time games coming up this season. We'll see how they obviously respond and things like that. But nonetheless, man, Louisville, you'll take it at number 16. Now, Virginia is very fortunate. I know Chandler Morris is a little bit banged up. Very fortunate to beat, obviously, Coach Bill Belichick, who threw the kitchen sink at them boys and made it tough for them. They was able to come out on top. Obviously, big victory for them. On the road, was able to get that stop on that 2-point conversion, or they would have probably moved out of the rankings. So if you're Virginia, you'll take it, but too close for comfort. Now, the Vols continue to cook on offense. They did it again against Kentucky. Joey Aguilar continues to light defenses up, man. 306 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. Long balls to, obviously, Mike Matthews. The Vols look good. The Vols got a special team, man. They're going to be one to watch for moving forward. Next up, obviously, you have Texas Tech. For the Red Raiders, how about that defense, man? Pitched the shutout against Oklahoma State. Held them boys to 0 points. They're getting it done. I like the Red Raiders, man. Don't even have their quarterback back yet. And obviously, Brent Morton. But Will Hammond stepping up. They're doing what they need to do to win, man. Shout out to Cameron Dickey as well, rushing attack. Good win for them. Notre Dame, obviously, this past week was off. We'll see them how they look, obviously, this upcoming week. But the Fighting Irish is a for real team. We know about their recent victory, obviously, over USC. I like how they're looking. BYU, man, doing it once again, man. Big win over Iowa State. We know they got Rocco Beck. Turnover that boy. Had obviously, did a good job defensively. BYU is for real, man. I'm telling you, that Big 12 championship is going to be special, man. Whoever it is, if it's Cincinnati BYU or BYU Texas Tech, it's going to be special. And those two teams play in November. I can't wait for that matchup. That matchup should be ESPN College Game Day, in my humble opinion. But we'll see when that time comes. My Hurricanes, how about Malachi Tony? Once again, big-time game for him. Hurricanes did good defensively, helped, obviously, Stanford to 7 points. Bottom team, bought the camo jersey. I know everybody said it was hard. It was not hard to me. I did not like them. But nonetheless, man, Hurricanes won. They rolled 42-7. We needed it. We're a top 10 team, I think, in the country. We're a natty contender. Just got to take care of the football. But Miami should be good, man, moving forward. Can't wait to see how we look. Gonna need some help to get into the ACC championship game. But, hey, everything's still out in front of us. And I still think Miami's a brand. Now, obviously, Vanderbilt, big win. Diego Pavia, once again, balls. Defense played well. Held them boys to only 10 points. I like how Vanderbilt defense been playing. They don't get enough credit for what they've been able to do. But Commodore is going to be a problem, man. And they're showing that they're a contender as well. How about them Yellow Jackets, man? Y'all see me react to the game, man. Haynes King Heisman. That's all I got to say, man. Haynes King Heisman, 395 total yards in that game and 5 touchdowns. Got 2 on the ground, 3 through the air, 304 yards passing. Hey, that team is for real. With all those injuries and everything, still was able to come out with a win and dominate Syracuse. Ole Miss, big win on the road, man. We just talked about it earlier with Trinidad Chambliss. Them boys is for real, man. Credit to Lane Kiffin. He dealt with a lot. Like, everybody is linking him to that Florida job, and he's continuing to have his team play at a high level. I like how he addressed the issue and the elephant in the room, and the boys went out there and played for him. You know what I'm saying? So, he's one of the top-end coaches in college football. Ole Miss has a chance to make a CFP playoff. They got to stay focused and obviously maintain their focus on the task at hand, man. Oregon, big win, obviously, over Wisconsin, 21-7. The boys continue to roll. Can't wait to see what they're going to be able to do moving forward. Special team. All right, now you got Georgia. Georgia had a bye week this past week. They're going to play, obviously, their rival Florida, who's going to have a new interim coach in. I don't see them winning that game anymore. I had Florida, but lost Billy Napier, new regime. We'll see how they look. They're trying to get their coach of the future. I think Georgia rolls in that one. They should be just fine. They got one of the best quarterbacks in the country, in Gunnar Stockton, who's also a Heisman candidate. Alabama, man, tough. I told you I had that game circled as probably being one of the tougher games for Alabama, just with what South Carolina could do running the football, in terms of what they're able to do with, obviously, their quarterback, Lenore Sellers. They still struggled in that one. He had that fumble late that got them back in the game. But that was a really tough game for Alabama, man. But a true road test. They came out on top. Shout out to South Carolina defense, who played pretty good in this game, but just couldn't get enough plays offensively to come out victorious. Texas A&M, y'all know how I feel about them. That's a natty contender, bro. Them boys is for real. Scooby Williams, Howe, Marcel Reed, Heisman candidate. Them boys is for real, man. Stop playing with the Aggies. They're here to stay. They're going to be a special team this year. Indiana, man, 56-6 win. Fernando Mendoza balls again against UCLA. That team is also very special and for real. Look out for the Hoosiers moving forward, man. And they made the claim this week. They should be the #1 overall team in the country. Nonetheless, the number 1 overall team is Ohio State. Carnell Tate, Jeremiah Smith, and Julian Sand, who doesn't get enough love for what he's been able to do this year. And that strong and potent defense is also special, man. So Ohio State, I can't wait. We're on a collision course with those teams. We're on a collision course with those two teams playing potentially in a Big Ten title game. I cannot wait, man. But that's the AP poll. That's my reaction, man. Comment down below your thoughts on the latest rankings.